James Harden drains out game-winning three to cap another ridonkulous game. There aren't even words for him anymore. For the past few weeks, he has become the best show going, just beating out Black Mirror, Bandersnatch. Thursday night he took his traveling roadshow to Oakland and outplayed and, 44 points, 10 of 23 from 3, 15 assists, 10 rebounds. And oh yes, this game winner in overtime, on a play fouled him. That was just as served. The Warriors were up 2 because of Curry's shot, which came about only because Durant saved the ball from going out when both of KD's feet were clearly out of bounds. The Warriors led by 20 in this one, but their casual attitude during the regular season caught up with them again in the second half. They relaxed. Harden did not, the opposite in fact. And the way he is playing right now, there would be no denying the beard. The bank was open late in Chicago. In what was a dramatic and close game, the best player on the floor, Indiana's, made the biggest play at the biggest moment, banking in a Curry distance 3 with 0.3 on the clock to give the Pacers the road win over the Bulls Friday night. Chicago sent the game to overtime with an almost as amazing deep three, and the guys behind NBC Sports Chicago's Bulls talk may have leaned into the hyperbole. The Boston Celtics have been in control of this game, but is still doing Luka Doncic things. Check out the moves in this halftime buzzer beater shot. And yes, he called bank. Doncic was second in the fan voting for West All-Star frontcourt, behind but ahead of, and everyone else. Meaning fans don't just want Doncic in the All-Star game, they want him starting. His standing is not going to last, the fan vote is half of it, the media and player votes make up the other half, and they will not have him as a starter, but the idea of rookie Doncic in the All-Star game is not ridiculous at all. The goal in New Orleans has not changed: make happy and keep him on the Pelicans. The odds of reaching that goal, and with each Pelican loss, but the franchise has not wavered. They will not talk Davis trade no matter who calls. Instead, the Pelicans are burning up the phone lines looking for trades that add talent to the roster. The goal is to win now. That sentiment starts with ownership, and in a fascinating read about her and her life. She talked about the Pelicans and keeping Davis, but if he wants to go. I think they're young, and we're going to invest more money and get the big players and do everything we can to keep Anthony Davis here. I really like what we have in place. I really like Anthony, but if he wants to leave, you can't hold him back. But I always keep in touch with people that we lose, like Benjamin Watson. When he left, I kept in touch with him, and now he's back. And then you understand it. Adrian Peterson too. A lot of people that left. I don't ever hold grudges with people. Even as angry, well, it wasn't so much angry but disappointed as I was with his family, I don't wish anybody harm. I think God takes care of things, and He's taken care of that situation. Sources have told me there is zero chance the Pelicans will trade Davis during the season, something and others have reported as well. There was hope in some plush Los Angeles homes that Davis would try to force the issue at the trade deadline and push his way to the Lakers now, but that's not Davis's way. He's not going and thrashing a franchise to get what he wants, especially because Davis cares about New Orleans. When Davis does not sign a $239.5 million Supermax contract extension this summer, the Pelicans will be forced to talk trade. The Celtics and Lakers are standing at the front of that line, but a lot of teams want in the conversation, but nothing happens before then. Benson realizes that if Davis wants to go he can, and that will force the Pelicans' hand. Eventually. But she's more at peace with it than most owners would be, and most Pelicans fans are for that matter. When it became clear that the Wizards were willing to break up their dysfunctional core, finally, the attention of other teams focused mostly on. He was seen as the Wizards' best player, an all-star without the injury history and burdensome contract of. The Wizards also know he's their best player, which is why they didn't want to give him up, or at least not without a lot in return. Take the Raptors, for example. Without they have checked around to see if they could add some playmaking to the roster, and they checked with Washington about Bradley Beal, only to walk away with a case of sticker shock. There's been chatter about the Raptors pursuing Wizards guard Bradley Beal, but Washington wants 2 players and 2 draft picks for him, according to sources. That would cost the team budding star and wing, plus some filler salary and 2 future first-round draft picks. The Raptors already owe this year's pick to the Spurs, and they would have to persuade Washington to take a pick as far out as 2023. First, no way the Raptors do that. Second, this has been the buzz for a while about what the Wizards want for Beal: 2 good, ideally younger, starter-level players plus 2 first-round picks. If one of those players was an all-star level guy, the other could be lesser. That's why there's no action on the Beal front. No team is coughing that up mid-season. If the Wizards make a big move, It's most likely in the summer. However, the Raptors could make a smaller move to help add some playmaking to the roster.